Little House on the Prairie is remembered as a warm and emotional television series that portrayed the struggles and joys of pioneer life in a simple but powerful way. Based on the spirit of Laura Ingalls Wilder's books, it followed the Ingalls family as they faced hardship, community challenges, and personal growth in a rural frontier setting. While audiences often think of it as a perfect and wholesome show, the reality of its production was far more complex. Behind the emotional storytelling were long filming days, difficult outdoor conditions, and countless technical challenges that sometimes led to small, unnoticed imperfections. These subtle details are not dramatic mistakes but quiet remnants of real production limitations. When revisiting the series today, viewers sometimes discover unexpected inconsistencies that were never meant to stand out. Exploring these moments does not take away from the show's legacy. Instead, it reveals how much effort and human creativity went into building such a beloved classic. Cultural legacy and emotional impact of the series Little House on the Prairie became more than just a television show. It evolved into a cultural symbol of family values, resilience, and moral storytelling. Its emotional depth allowed audiences to connect with the Ingalls family as they navigated difficult situations in a growing frontier community. The series balanced innocence with serious themes such as loss, poverty, and personal struggle, which gave it a unique place in television history. Over time, it reached viewers across generations, becoming a shared memory for families who watched it together. The performances and storytelling created a lasting emotional bond that continues even decades after its original release. However, behind this success was a demanding production process that required filming in unpredictable outdoor environments. These conditions occasionally created small visual inconsistencies that were difficult to notice at the time. Today, they are sometimes viewed as hidden details, but they were simply natural outcomes of producing a large-scale series under real-world limitations and tight schedules. Challenges of outdoor filming and natural conditions. Much of Little House on the Prairie was filmed outdoors, which created both visual authenticity and significant production difficulties. The natural environment helped the show achieve its realistic frontier atmosphere, but it also introduced unpredictable elements that affected filming consistency. Weather changes such as strong sunlight, sudden wind, dust, or shifting clouds often altered the look of scenes between takes. These variations made it difficult to maintain perfect continuity, especially when scenes were filmed over multiple days. Actors and crew had to adapt constantly to environmental conditions, which sometimes required quick adjustments to lighting, blocking, or camera angles. Costumes and props were also affected by heat and outdoor exposure, making it harder to keep everything identical across shots. Because editing technology was limited at the time, not all inconsistencies could be corrected later. As a result, subtle differences occasionally remained in final episodes. These moments were not mistakes but natural outcomes of filming in uncontrolled real-world environments. Continuity issues and subtle visual differences. Continuity is one of the most challenging aspects of television production, especially in a long-running series like Little House on the Prairie, where scenes were often filmed out of sequence. This required careful attention to details such as costume placement, prop positioning, and actor movement. Despite careful planning, small inconsistencies sometimes occurred between shots. Objects might appear slightly shifted, or background elements might change position without intention. These differences were rarely noticed by audiences during the original broadcast because viewers focused on the story rather than technical precision. At the time, production teams prioritized emotional storytelling over perfect visual alignment, which meant minor inconsistencies were often left uncorrected. Today, with modern viewing technology, these subtle differences are easier to detect when pausing or rewatching scenes. However, they do not represent flaws in storytelling. Instead, they reflect the complexity of producing a large-scale television series under the technical limitations of its era. Real human relationships behind the characters. One of the strongest elements of Little House on the Prairie was the genuine emotional connection between its characters, which was deeply influenced by the real-life relationships among the cast. Many actors spent years working together, forming close bonds that naturally enhanced their on-screen chemistry. This helped create believable family dynamics that felt authentic and emotionally grounded. However, human performance is never perfectly identical in every take. Small variations in tone, expression, or timing can occur depending on emotional intensity or filming conditions. These subtle differences sometimes remained in the final edits, contributing to the show's natural feel. Rather than being flaws, they added realism and spontaneity to the performances. The emotional depth of the series came not only from scripted dialogue but also from these organic interactions between actors who had developed trust and familiarity over time. This human element is a key reason why the show continues to resonate with audiences today. Behind-the-scenes production environment and workflow. The production environment of Little House on the Prairie combined controlled studio filming with extensive outdoor shoots, creating a unique blend of stability and unpredictability. Interior scenes allowed for more controlled lighting, sound, and set design, while exterior scenes depended heavily on natural conditions. This required careful coordination from the crew, who often had to adjust quickly to changing circumstances. Background noise, lighting shifts, and environmental movement could all affect the final outcome of a scene. Since editing tools were limited compared to modern standards, not every variation could be fixed during post-production. As a result, some minor differences remained visible in completed episodes. These were not seen as production failures but as part of the normal workflow of television filmmaking at the time. The combination of structured planning and natural unpredictability gave the series a grounded and realistic visual identity that continues to be appreciated. Costume design and prop consistency challenges. Costumes and props played a vital role in creating the historical authenticity of Little House on the Prairie, but maintaining consistency across episodes was a complex task. Clothing was designed to reflect the 19th century frontier period, often requiring careful fabric selection and detailed craftsmanship. However, costumes had to be reused throughout the series, which sometimes led to slight variations in color, texture, or condition over time. Props such as furniture, tools, and household items also required careful tracking to ensure they appeared correctly in each scene. Between takes or filming days, minor repositioning could occur unintentionally. These small differences were rarely noticeable during original broadcasts, but can sometimes be observed in modern high-definition viewing. Rather than being errors, they reflect the practical realities of long-term production management. Despite these challenges, the overall visual design remained consistent and highly effective in creating a believable historical world. Performance chemistry and emotional authenticity. The emotional strength of Little House on the Prairie was deeply influenced by the chemistry between its cast members, many of whom developed strong working relationships over time. This sense of familiarity helped create natural and believable interactions on screen, especially in family-centered scenes. When actors feel comfortable with one another, performances often become more fluid and emotionally expressive. However, even in strong ensembles, subtle variations in performance are natural. Differences in pacing, tone, or expression can occur depending on the emotional demands of a scene. These variations sometimes remained in final edits, adding realism rather than disrupting continuity. Instead of appearing overly rehearsed, scenes often carried a sense of spontaneity that reflected real human behavior. This authenticity is one of the key reasons the series continues to resonate with audiences, as it allows viewers to connect with characters in a more genuine and emotional way. Environmental interference and uncontrolled elements. Filming outdoors introduced many unpredictable environmental factors that influenced how scenes in Little House on the Prairie were captured. Weather conditions such as wind, sunlight, and dust could change quickly, affecting continuity between shots. Natural background elements like moving trees, animals, or shifting shadows also added variability that was difficult to control. Even with careful planning, these elements sometimes created small visual differences in final scenes. Production teams worked hard to minimize disruptions, but complete control over nature was impossible. As a result, subtle inconsistencies occasionally remained visible in the finished episodes. These were not considered mistakes but rather natural outcomes of filming in real environments. In fact, they contributed to the show's realism by reinforcing the feeling of being in an authentic, living frontier setting rather than a controlled studio space. Editing process and technical limitations of the era. During the time Little House on the Prairie was produced, editing was done manually using physical film, which required precision, patience, and careful decision-making. Editors physically cut and joined film strips, making even small adjustments time-consuming. Because of these limitations, not every minor inconsistency could be corrected during post-production. The focus was primarily on maintaining narrative flow and emotional impact rather than achieving perfect visual continuity. As a result, subtle differences between shots sometimes remained in the final broadcast. Today, modern digital tools allow for much more precise editing, making such inconsistencies easier to remove. However, at the time, these small imperfections were considered acceptable within the production process. They reflect the craftsmanship and technical constraints of traditional filmmaking rather than oversight or error. Audience perception and modern viewing experience. When Little House on the Prairie originally aired, audiences experienced episodes in real time without the ability to pause or replay scenes easily. This meant that small inconsistencies were rarely noticed. Viewers were focused on story and emotion rather than technical detail. Today, streaming platforms have changed how audiences engage with the series, allowing close inspection of every frame. This has led to the discovery of subtle production details that were never intended to be noticed. While these observations are often discussed as hidden bloopers, they do not change the original emotional impact of the series. Instead, they offer a deeper appreciation of how television was created under practical limitations. Modern viewing allows audiences to understand both the storytelling and the production effort behind the show in greater detail. Conclusion and lasting value of the series. Little House on the Prairie remains a powerful example of storytelling that combines emotional depth, strong characters, and historical atmosphere. While subtle inconsistencies and production imperfections exist, they do not diminish its legacy. Instead, they highlight the human effort, creativity, and real-world challenges involved in producing a long-running television series. These small details remind viewers that behind every scene are people working within practical limitations, doing their best to bring a story to life. Over time, these imperfections have become part of the show's charm, adding authenticity rather than reducing its value. The series continues to be appreciated not only for its storytelling but also for its honesty, warmth, and enduring emotional connection with audiences across generations.